Hi guys! So you might remember that about 6 months ago I made this tutorial, which was for a shoe out of tape. And at the end of that video I said I would make the other one just to see whether you can actually walk in these. And I'm so sorry this took so long because back then it was the middle of winter, so I didn't want to be making summer shoe videos in winter. And then in the beginning of this year I obviously had so much work to do for my wedding that everything just kind of went crazy. But thankfully everything's back to normal now, so I made the other one and we can finally see how it is to walk in these. Obviously a lot of people said there's no way you can walk in these because this part is just going to break. However, flat shoes might actually work. So I had to test that out and I made these flat shoes as well.
This is the shoe that I'm going to be using as a template. You can use any shoe you have, just make sure it's clean and the surface is smooth enough to tape over. Then you'll also need a roll of clear tape that comes with a tape cutter like this. I'm going to skim over the method because I've covered that in these two tutorials here. I've linked both of them down below, so be sure to watch it if you want to know more. You basically have to keep covering the shoe in many layers of tape and then keep lifting it off until you start to create a mold of that area. It's easiest if you work in small sections like this. Then simply join up the sections until you get larger shapes. I find it's best to make both halves of the shoe first and then join them up together at the front of the toe. Once you're almost done, don't forget to cover the inside of the shoe with one layer of tape so it doesn't stick to anything. Now tape up the base to make the sole and join it up with the other piece. I decided to make the heel separately and then stuck it together so there's a small edge between the two. Now just add finishing touches with more tape until everything looks nice and smooth. I found that each shoe only needed one roll of tape, so this DIY is actually really cheap to make. So here's the high-heeled version. Apologies in advance to all the people who hate seeing feet on camera. I'm actually one of them, but unfortunately there's no getting around that in this video. These fit perfectly and they look really cool, but I'm obviously standing on my toes here. If I lean backwards then the heel starts to break immediately. I did consider using something to strengthen the back, but I figured that nobody genuinely ever walks around in these, so there's no point doing that. However, I think this DIY is actually very useful for photo shoots. For instance, if you do cosplay and you need a quick and cheap method to make some accessories, then you can give this a try. So now let's move on to flat shoes, and I'm really excited because these look like they can actually work. You can step into these just like normal ballet flats and they're shockingly comfortable to wear. The base is very thin, so it won't work for walking on pavements, but I wouldn't recommend that for safety reasons either. However, you can definitely use these on sand, grass, or just as house slippers. You can customize it even further, such as making the base less slippery using silicone, adding a shoe inlay inside to make it softer, or coloring the outside with paint. So I hope you enjoyed this experiment, and please subscribe to Cute Life Hacks and my second channel, Macaroon. I'm also fairly active on Instagram, so you can follow me here and see what I'm up to all day in my stories. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you soon. Bye!